I'm showing you today how to make your own homemade shredded chicken. Rotisserie chickens are great and definitely come in handy for those, late nights, unplanned dinners, but it's always nice when you can control, what's going into your food. You don't really know what's in the rotisserie chicken, what's in the seasoning. They're usually, much higher in sodium than if you make the chicken yourself. And I'm going to show you just how quickly it is. We're using boneless, skinless chicken breasts. That's going to be the quickest way to get shredded chicken. So you can make shredded chicken, using chicken thighs. You can do bone-in chicken breast, boneless chicken thighs, bone-in, whatever pieces of chicken you want to use. But when the bone is in the chicken, the time will go up. Also for dark meat, just like with any way that we're cooking chicken, dark meat always takes longer than white meat. So boneless breasts are going to be your quickest bet. They cook up in like 10 minutes and you have shredded chicken. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you my super simple method for this. It's a really great thing to have shredded chicken on hand for the week, so it's a really good meal prep ingredient. I'm all about prepping ingredients rather than meals, so that you still have a little bit of flexibility in your day-to-day. So having shredded chicken on hand is great to be able to just toss into a salad, make some chicken salad out of it, and have a chicken salad sandwich. You can toss it in, make tacos, make different, casseroles. It's already there. It's already cooked for you, and it just takes, a few minutes of, not even a few minutes of prep. You'll see how quick it is, and then the boneless, skinless chicken breast will cook up in about 10 minutes, and you have shredded chicken. The other thing that I love about making shredded chicken is it's one of the most no-fuss ways to handle raw chicken. Even me as a chef, I don't love handling raw chicken. So something like this, it goes really from package to pot, and you don't have to cut anything. You don't have to get your cutting board dirty with raw chicken. So it's just really a no-fuss, easy way to cook up chicken. So the way that I do this, I just have 2 boneless, skinless chicken breasts here. Like I said, we don't have to cut anything. They're literally going right into the pot. So I'm taking it right from the package and just putting it into an empty pot here. And then what we want to do is just season the chicken. So I just season it with salt and pepper because, like I said, I just like to have it on hand, and then you can toss it into anything. And I do also like to toss a bay leaf in here. The nice thing about making the shredded chicken like this is that when the chicken's all cooked and we take it out of the pot, we're left with a liquid that's kind of like a really quick chicken broth. So it's not going to be super strongly flavored because it's not sitting as long as it would be if we were really making a chicken stock or a chicken broth. But it is it's a more flavorful liquid than just water, and then you can use that liquid to cook up a grain, or you could save some of that liquid to kind of rehydrate the chicken also when you reheat it so it doesn't dry out. So adding the bay leaf in just helps add some extra flavor to that liquid, and we can save the liquid to use for later. So we're just going to season both sides of the chicken. So I just right in here, sprinkle with salt. And a few grinds of black pepper. And then just use my fork and flip them over and get the other side. And toss our bay leaf in there. And then what we want to do now, so now we have in our pot, we have our chicken breasts that are seasoned with salt and pepper on both sides, a bay leaf, and then we're going to put cold water in the pot to fill it just so it's about an inch above the chicken. Okay, so this is what we have now. Our chicken is seasoned with salt and pepper. We have a bay leaf in there, and you can see the water is just covering the chicken by about 1 inch. I'm going to put the lid on the pot to help get that water boiling. I'm going to turn the heat up high. We want to bring the water to a boil first, and then as soon as it comes to a boil, we're going to reduce the heat to low and just let it lightly simmer, almost poaching, for about 10 minutes. So we're not going to start the 10-minute timer on this until we reduce the heat to low. Okay, so at this point the water is boiling, so I'm reducing my heat all the way to low and setting a timer for 10 minutes. And since I'm going to use the liquid for later, I want to skim off the white stuff that's come to the surface here. That's just from the fat in the chicken, but we don't want to have that fat in the liquid. Same way that if you're making, chicken soup at home, you would skim off any of the fat that's on the top there. So just use a spider strainer, and you don't have to get crazy about it. You don't have to get it all out, but just kind of scoop around there and get what you can. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, so 10 minutes is up on the chicken. I'm gonna use tongs to pull them out. So that's it, they're nice and cooked. Double check that the internal temperature of the chicken breast has reached 165 degrees. So I have my thermometer here. I already checked it, but so we want it to be at 165. So these guys are done. And just transfer them to a plate. So we'll let this chicken cool down just a little bit, just so that we're able to handle it, to shred it. And the extra liquid, like I said, can strain out any more of the the white fat that's in there and get that bay leaf out, and then we can just save this liquid. Okay, and so there's a few ways that you can go about shredding. You can use the tongs, you can use 2 forks. I like to use my hands, so that's why I like to let it cool down enough that I can use my hands, but I do find that it shreds easier when it's still warm, so I don't like to let it get cold before shredding. Just go at it. It'll just shred. If you can kind of go like with the grain of the chicken, you'll kind of find like the way that it's easier to shred. So I kind of just pull, bigger pieces out with the fork, and then I just shred it up smaller with my hands. So I just store the chicken in a container just like this, and I'll actually pour some of the cooking liquid into the chicken here to help keep it moist as it sits in the fridge.